Hi guys, Andy Crowley here again, and in this lesson I'm going to be covering the G major pentatonic scale in open position. Now this is the ideal choice of scale and is certainly the easiest scale that we can use to play over any of the chords that were in the key of G. Now I covered the key of G in the previous lesson and we've got some recommended chord sequences there as well, and strumming patterns in the first couple of videos that you can use to play those chord sequences with. So in this lesson, this is going to be very much a lead bass guitar lesson, covering the notes that we're going to be playing, and then we'll be covering some melodic patterns with them in the final lesson so that you guys can play some melodies and basically have a jam with your friends or record yourself and have a jam over what you're playing. So the G major pentatonic scale uses the notes from the G major chord, and we're going to be adding a few different notes to that, commonly using the open strings as well. And it sounds like this as a quick demonstration. And in reverse order. So fairly short sequence, and we're always going from a single note to the open string, making it one of the easiest scales to play. So let's get in for a close-up and let's check out how to play this. So here we are for a close-up on your G major pentatonic scale. So we're going to start on a G note, and this is the same note that you would start with any way that you would play a G major chord. It's where your middle finger would be, and we're going to start on that middle finger as well. Make sure you're at the high side of the fret so that it sounds a lot better. It will sound a lot better if you're at this side of the fret. And then we go to the open string, so the open A, string 5, second fret on string 5, and then once you're on the string 5, from there for the next few strings you're going to go open to second fret, open to second fret. But I want us to stop on the G note on the open G string, string 3. So as a demo, first of all, we got string 6, middle finger down, open A, second fret on the A, open D string, second fret on the D, and then finally, just for now, the open third string, which is a G. So therefore we've gone from a G note to a G note, and this interval is called an octave. So the distance between these notes is an octave, and they are the same note, just what we call an octave apart. They're that's the next G up that we have. And between those two notes, we've played 5 notes, taking us up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have the open G again, which is the first note of the next 5. That's why this scale is called the pentatonic scale. Pent is 5, like a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is 1 of the next 5. Okay, so we need to be really sure of these first 5 notes. And those first 5 I have tabbed out in the lesson notes accompanying this lesson, but also we have a diagram which looks like this. Now this is your guitar neck, and the single dots show where you're putting your fingers, like on a chord diagram. However, we're not putting all those dots down at one time, we're putting them down individually. And most people to start off with kind of prefer the tab. But if you get used to this way of memorizing a scale, you can visualize it easier on your fretboard. So we have this kind of G chord shape and all these second frets of the middle strings as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is on the diagram. And then all the open strings as well. To play the second octave, we start from that G and go to the second fret on that same third string, open second string, third fret on the same string, open E, And finally, middle finger again on the first string. So those 5 notes again. We've got the open one to start us off with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're ending on a G note, which means we're starting from that 1 again, or it kind of finishes at the 1. Now, to practice this scale, I would like you to use a definite pause on that middle 3rd string. And if you've never played any scale before, the best way to do it is go all the way from the lowest note to the highest note and then back down again, which is one complete cycle. And when we do our cycles, I'd like you to pause on that middle one, and even just to get used to it, cycle the thicker strings, that first octave, and then cycle the thinner strings on separate to the thicker ones, rather than just going through the whole thing. This is going to be really important from the next lesson and when you start improvising or learning songs with this scale, because songs, real songs and real riffs start and will end on those octaves. It becomes such a bonus to your playing if we can get this concept of starting and ending on that G note, because that's what the real songs will do, and it gets you used to the way that it sounds as well. Sorry, my picking is sucking on the neck. So that's the way that I would like you to practice this scale. And as I say, you've got those 2 ways to see the thing written down. So from the tab, starts off on 3rd fret of the thickest E string, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0 for that first octave, and that's in the lesson notes accompanying this lesson.